Welcome to this video. In this video, I'm gonna go over how to create a dynamic assistant in Vapi.
Look, I swear to God, this is not a scam call.
So that your assistant and the phone call is adjusted to the lead that either calls in or to the lead that you need to call with your Vapi agent. Do not include this in the video. And you can have a flexible and adaptable assistant.
Sure, I won't include that in the video.
In Vapi. Yeah, can you address me as Captain from now on?
Sure thing. How can I assist you today, Captain?
I'm gonna try and explain the subject as simply as possible. There are different factors that I'm not gonna go over in this video, and I'm gonna leave them for next videos. But in today's video, I'm gonna go over some factors that are gonna give you a better understanding and a better control over your calls. Okay, so let's just dive in the video. All right, so there are two different types of assistants. One is the static assistant, which is basically, it's gonna remain the same, and you cannot put any variables in it. Let's say that you have leads from, I don't know, you're running ads or whatever. You have leads that you need to call. You cannot import the lead's name over here in this either first message or in the system prompt. Okay, so if you want to customize the agent, then you need to basically go down here, go to API documentation, and then you need to go to create call over here. Okay, so here's where you create your agent that is going to be customized for each call, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Okay, so if you take a look over here on the right hand side, you will see that there are different data like name, assistant ID. You will see that this data is in this kind of a weird looking format, which is called JSON. Okay, so JSON, it stands for JavaScript Object Notation. JavaScript is a programming language. The origin of how this looks came from there. Then object means something specified. For example, over here we specify the assistant, and notation means basically all of these different characters, like the curly brackets, etc., etc. Okay, so basically JSON is something is like a bunch of data in that specific format that specify something, specify the agent in this case. Yeah, so what you need to do to create your own agent, and I'll show you how to then take the end result of your JSON and put it in make.com. But basically there are two different sections over here, authorization and body. So for authorization, I mean, you don't really need to do this here, but you will need to have the word bearer and then just one space over here, and then you need to go to API keys over here, and then you need to copy the API key, your API key, and then just paste it here. Okay, then you need to go to body. So now over here you can take a look. You can go to info over here. I'm gonna give you my suggestions today on what is needed. For example, we go here and we see name. This is the name of the call. This is just for your own reference, and you can name your call however you want. Then assistant ID, yeah, you don't really need that for this this kind of a call. Then we go to assistant. Transcriber will have to be a deepgram, that's fine, deepgram. Then model is going to be Nova 2. Then language, whatever language you're using for your agent, I'm gonna go with English. Then everything else is not really needed, so I'm just gonna leave it like that. Then the model here. So these are the options for the assistants LLM. So LLM is large language model. It's like OpenAI, Grok. Grok is X is AI. I'm gonna go with OpenAI. You open this up, you see object over here, you click on it, then content. Over here, you're gonna have to put your prompt, okay? So let's say you have your complete prompt. Let's say this was your complete prompt over here. So you take that and you paste it over here, fantastic. Then the role is gonna be system. Then we continue. So let's say that you have existing tools. As you can see here, it says these are tools that the assistant can use during the call. To use existing tools, use tool IDs. For already existing tools, if you already have tools, let's say to book appointments with your CRM or your calendar or whatever, then you will not need to use tools, but you need to use tool IDs. So we'll need to go to tools, and let's say that we want to use GHL booking. We have the tool ID over here, so we go and copy this and we take it back. Then we open up tool ID, and then you paste the ID over here. Okay. So provider is gonna be OpenAI. Model is gonna be whatever you want. I would suggest either GPT-4o or GPT-4o mini. And by the way, if we go to the right hand side here, you will see that whatever we have specified above starts being added here. Okay. So we have the transcriber, which is DeepGram, model is Nova, Nova 2, language is English, etc., etc. Content is this specific system prompt. So now knowledge base. So what I would suggest with that is we go to canonical and then file ID. So if we go to files, this is like a random knowledge base that I created. So you see here, like whenever you create your knowledge base and then whenever you upload it, you're gonna have a file ID over here. So you click on copy file ID, then we go back over here, and as you can see, it says here file IDs. You would paste it here, and if you have more files to add, like more like documents for your knowledge base, then you would have to click on this little thing over here and then add the next file ID here, etc., etc. Okay, fantastic. Then we continue. I mean, you can create your agent however you want, but for example, here it says emotion recognition enabled. If you want that, you can use that, but I'm not gonna use that. Then voice, I'll go with 11 Labs. Provider, here it's gonna be 11 Labs. Voice ID, I'll show you some stuff on Voice ID, but I don't know, let's just pick whatever you want here. Let's just pick bird, as you can see. Then stability, so there are different factors here, as you can see, stability, clarity, and similarity. So you can hover over the information little thing over here, and it says, for example, increasing variability can make speech more expressive with output varying between regenerations. It can also lead to instabilities. Or the same with stable over here, increasing stability will make the voice more consistent between regenerations, but it can also make it sound a bit monotone. So I would suggest play with this, play with the different factors over here, stability, clarity and similarity, style exaggeration, etc., etc. And whenever you have your assistant responding in a way and in expression that you really like, then just come here and just take the different like numbers over here and you can import them here. Okay, I'm not gonna do that for now. Model, it's gonna be, I mean, if your agent is in English, just go with 11 Turbo V2. If it is multilingual, or if it is like basically not English, just go with multilingual, 11 multilingual V2 over here. I'm gonna go with 11 Turbo V2. Then we continue. First message. So first message mode is, there are three choices over here. Is the assistant gonna speak first? Is the assistant, for example, gonna say hello? Is the assistant gonna wait for the user? Yeah, I would suggest either the assistant speaks first or the assistant waits for user. For outbound call, I would suggest assistant waits for user. Cool. All right, we continue. Again, over here, for example, silence, timeout seconds. How many seconds of silence to wait before ending the call? Defaults to 30. So if you don't put anything here, the default value is going to be 30. If you want to change that, you can. Same with max duration seconds. Default is 600, so 10 minutes of phone call. And if a phone call is not completed in 10 minutes, then it's gonna basically hang up. Okay. Background sound, I love this. I would suggest Office. Cool, then we go to first message. I will go to model over here. And let's say that this was the first message. then we would put it over here. But let's say that we want to say, for example, hey, this is George. Oops. Hey, this is George from Facebook. Not scammy at all. This is George from Facebook. Am I talking with name? I'll show you what you need to do in order to actually have the first name of the person there. Fine. So let's just keep it like that for now. Then voicemail detection, if you want, you can have that. We continue. Yeah, voicemail message, which is basically the message that the assistant will say if he is forwarded to voicemail. Then if you want to put any end call phrases, you can. Then, for example, if the assistant says have a great day or whatever you want, then the assistant hangs up. You don't really need all of this stuff. Squad is another very cool feature of Vapi that I'm gonna go over in another video, which is basically having multiple agents and being able to transfer the call from one agent to another agent, and it sounds very cool and very professional. And by the way, if you see over here, it says model, and then again we have the different AI models like OpenAI, etc., etc. So why do we have it a second time? Because this specific AI model has to do, like as you can see, like there are little boxes inside boxes inside boxes, etc. So if you go to the box that has this little AI model, let's say over here, you will see that it has to do with members override. Now, this is something that I'm not gonna go over in this video. I'm gonna go over it in another video, but we don't really need that. Just so that you basically are not confused over what you're filling out. If you don't need something, I would suggest you go to this little, the double arrows over here, and you click on that so that it basically closes off, okay? Phone number ID, I would suggest you put your phone number ID over here. Again, you can go to your dashboard, you go to phone numbers, and you have a phone number here. You would have to click on this little button over here to copy the ID and then just put it over here. And basically we're done. Okay, so now what you need to do is you need to take the JSON structure from this little curly bracket over here and just go down until the last curly bracket. You don't need the whatever that is, accent or whatever that is. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna copy, and I'm gonna open up the JSON editor. So with this JSON editor, you can paste your JSON structure that you have, and then it's gonna give you all of the different errors in the structure. So you take care of those. So you basically delete those and you make sure that you don't have any errors. And then you can take the JSON and put it in make.com. I'll show you how to do that. But for example, it says here invalid escape character at line 11. So we go to line 11 and we have this character. Cool. Same with these ones. And now it looks good. It looks pretty good. Yeah. All right, perfect. All right, and we have this make scenario. Again, I've gone over this scenario and another scenario on how to book appointments on GoHighLevel with make.com and with your Vapi assistant in 2 videos on my channel, in the previous video and in another video. So if you want more data on how to do that, go ahead and watch those videos. And if you want access to these scenarios over here, this is number 1. And then we have the desired appointment time and booking to GoHighLevel, which is number 2. Then join my school community, first link in the description below, and then you're gonna find them there. So for now, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna trigger the call, and then I'm gonna call myself with this module, okay? So over here, to create the call, if we go back to Vapi over here, you will see that the request will have to be done to this path, okay, to this URL. So you will have to basically take this URL and then put it over here. Then we have two different headers. Headers are basically these ones over here, item 1 and item 2. The names, the first one, the name is authorization, and then the value. So we have authorization here, and then we have bearer. Again, bearer over here means you bear, like you hold the API key. So you're authorized to make specific actions, for example, this call with that Vapi account. Okay, so you put your private Vapi key over here. Then the second one is content type, and then the value is application JSON. So this is exactly what we have over here. We have content type and then application JSON. Body type is going to be raw. Content type is going to be JSON, and then the requested content is going to be the JSON that we have over here. Okay, so basically you take your whole JSON structure, you copy this, you go to make, and you paste it here. Okay, so now something that I saw here is the first message is again, hey, this is thanks for calling. So the agent is gonna call us, so we're gonna change the first message to this is George from Facebook. I promise this is not a scam call. Am I talking with name? And name over here, basically what we're gonna do is we're gonna map the first name. So for whatever reason over here, my first name is Phibos R, so it's gonna say, am I speaking with Phibos R? But yeah, in general you would have first name and last name, okay? I swear to God, this is not a scam call. All right, so we click on OK. And now one more thing that I'm gonna do that I haven't done it is basically this is how you map. This is actually a way of how to map different values, different variables to the actual call, so that the agent can actually speak these values and speak, for example, the first name of the person on the call. But there is another way on how to do that. I'm gonna go over that, which is kind of more, can be a bit more advanced, but it's actually not more advanced. It's kind of simple, but I just want to give the information in a gradient, like little by little, without causing confusions. Okay, cool. So now one more thing that I want to say over here is that if you go to voice library, you will find all available 11 Labs voices, or you can find, if you use another voice provider, you can find other kind of voices, as you can see over here. In my opinion, 11 Labs or what is it, Play HT, these guys have the best voices, so you can play with that. There are a lot of voices over here, like 2,000 voices. So let's say that you like Thomas Hansen, right? You would take the ID, and then you would basically, you see here that it says voice ID Bert, so you would paste the ID here. Okay, this will be the voice of that specific agent. I would suggest you do that, and I would suggest you go over different voices and you try them out, and then you see which ones you like, because sometimes I couldn't find a voice that I liked, and then I have a few voices. I have about like 10 voices that I really like. So yeah, this is how you do that. And we click on OK, and then let's try out the agent. And by the way, one more comment that I want to make is, for example, in your content, in your system prompt, you go over, okay, the sequence of questions and the sequence of steps that the assistant should ask or whatever. And let's say that one of the steps is to say, the reason I'm calling is blah, blah, blah. And let's say that you have different reasons for calling, like, I don't know, based on your business or based on your client's business. So you can have, for example, basically one of the custom data points You can have the reason for call. You can have it as a custom field over here. Hopefully it's not very confusing. You can have it as a custom field. And then you can add it, basically you can say reason. And then you can import it as a custom field here. And then when now talking about GoHighLevel, by the way, because I'm using GoHighLevel a lot, the contact is gonna go through GoHighLevel and it's gonna go to make.com, and the assistant will call it. And let's say that each contact has its own reason, then the assistant will say the reason that I'm calling is blah, but you need to map the reason for calling in the content over here. Okay, cool. I think we're pretty much set, so I'm gonna get this to run once.
Where am I? Where's my background? Why is it so dark? I have no idea. This is gonna be a raw video on a few tips and tricks that I did not include in the original video, and also you can see here I don't have the same assistant, but I think these tips and tricks are very important for you to know, so that you can control your agent better. And actually, there was something that I shot in the original video and it got cut out. And now, anyways, we cannot find it. So I'm just gonna share it with you here. Okay, so number one, when you wanna call, when you want your assistant to initiate a call, other than the whole JSON structure that specifies the assistant, you need to have phone number ID, customer, name and number. So for phone number ID, you will have your own phone number ID. And for that one, you will have to go to your Vapi dashboard, and then you need to copy this over here. Okay, this is gonna be your phone number ID. Cool, this is number one. And you put it here. See the exact structure, okay? It has to be exact, has to be with commas, etc., etc. Cool, so you need to have a phone number ID, and then customer, you need to open curly brackets, you need to have name and number under it. And inside the quotation marks, the name doesn't really matter. That name is for your own reference mostly. I would suggest you have the full name of the person. And the number is gonna be, if you're gonna do that in make, it has to be the phone over here. Okay, but I'll show you how to do that in HighLevel. You can create your agent and the whole JSON structure in HighLevel. So you actually don't really need the first scenario over here. Okay, cool. So let's go to HighLevel. All right, so one more thing I want to show you here is, let's say that you build your own agent over here in the dashboard, in Vapi's dashboard, and you really like that agent. That agent talks nicely, responds nicely, has the perfect prompt. You chose voice, you chose functions, you chose different things. So when you have that, then you can actually go to Vapi's documentation. I'm gonna do it from scratch. Over here, you need to go down here and you need to click on API documentation. Cool. By the way, since I shot this video, this whole dashboard changed a bit. Okay, so it's a bit changed, but the idea remains the same. Okay, so if you have an agent that you want to export into a JSON structure, then you go to Get Assistant, you click on Play. Then what you need to do is you take the assistant ID and you drop it here, and you need to go over here to API keys, and you need to copy this API key. Okay, so when you do that, then you go back, you authenticate, you drop the API key here. You cannot see my whole API key, which is good. And you click on done and you send request. So when you do that, all right, so when you do that, then you can copy this whole thing. You can go to JSON editor, Now, one thing that you need to do, or actually a few things, is you need to delete org ID and ID, and over here you need to write assistant colon and curly brackets. Cool. Then you need to delete the last curly bracket, and you need to go down here and add one more curly bracket like that. Okay. Now you need to delete is server URL secret, and also delete the comma over there. You also need to delete updated at and created at. And the last thing is you need to take this phone number ID and customer and name and number, etc. You paste it, you copy it, you don't paste it. You copy it, you go back to JSON, and you go down here, exactly as you can see here, you press enter, and we have a problem, comma, over here. Fantastic, cool. So now that should be good, you copy that, and what you can do is you either take that whole JSON and you drop it in the HTTP request, or what you can do is you can go to GoHighLevel straight, and you can search for custom webhook. It's going to be custom, it's going to be post. The URL over here is going to be, I'll show you actually what's going to be. Then you delete that and you paste the whole JSON structure. The name over here, it's going to be, and actually this is really good because you can literally import the name of your high level leads. Okay, so I'll just go here and I go to contact, full name, fantastic. Then I drop it here, and phone number, I'll do the same. I'll go up here, and then I'll go to contact, phone, raw format, fantastic. I'll go down here, and we paste it here. And this is pretty much it. So we save action. Oops, yeah, we cannot save action because we need the URL. So we go back to documentation, we go to create code, and then you take this whole path, high level, click over here, authorization, leave it at none. Key, the headers is gonna be authorization. So you don't click on bearer token here. You leave the authorization at none, and then over here you go bearer, you put one space, and then you need to paste your API key, your private API key from Vapi. I'm not gonna do that over here, but you understand what needs to be done. So I'm gonna do that, then I'm gonna save action, and I'm gonna trigger a call. All right, so it is done. So one thing that I wanna show you is over here at first message, you can say, hello, am I speaking with contact first name. All right, so now let's run test and let's see what happens. Hello?
Hey, am I speaking with Theo? How can I help you today?
You are. All right, cool. So you see how that can be set up here. So I think that's pretty much it. This is what I wanted to show in this raw video. And yeah, let's get back to the main video.
Then we're gonna run test and let's see what happens. Here we go. Hello? Hello?
Hey, this is George from Facebook. I swear to God, this is not a scam call. Am I talking with Vivos R?
Yeah.
What would you like to know?
I have a few questions. Can you help me?
Of course, what would you like to know?
Tell me how your day. Tell me how's your day.
My day is going well, thank you. How can I assist you further today?
Do not include this in the video.
Sure, I won't include that in the video.
Okay, bro. 1 second. Give me a sec.
What would you...
Actually, include it. It's fine.
Absolutely, take your time. Let me know when you're ready.
I will tell you. Can I ask you a few questions? Knowledge base, fake knowledge base.
Sure, feel free to ask your questions anytime.
Okay, Bruce.
Hello, sure, you can ask me a few...
Okay, Bruce.
Hello?
Are you there?
Okay, Bruce. Yes, I'm here. How can I assist you today?
Yeah, can you address me as captain from now on?
Sure thing. How can I assist you today, Captain?
All right. So, what services do you offer?
We offer lawn care and garden maintenance.
Okay, cool. And what's your website?
Our website is www.greenthumb.com.
Wow. Who owns your business?
Thank you, Captain. Is there any... Jane Doe owns the business.
Okay, and is Jane a good person or what?
Yes, Jane is a wonderful person. She is very dedicated and passionate about providing excellent service to our clients.
Okay, Brewski. Call me Brewski, and then can you hang up the call, please?
Thank you, Brisky. If you have any more questions or need assistance in the future, feel free to reach out.
Okay.
Have a great day.
Thank you so much. Bye. All right, guys. So basically, this is how you create an assistant like that. Again, JSON editor will help you a lot, and ChatGPT will help you. If you want access to these scenarios, again, join my school community. First link in the description below.